Show you this the hard way, but you need to understand this, so I'm going to show you. You see all these TIFF items? These were the original TIFF items that you showed me for the band. You thought they had a white background because you don't have a program that shows you transparency. So you see this and you think white background. Now removing that white background would actually be real easy as well because it's only a white background. I'm going to show you what I have to do on the next ones because they're not, and it's gonna take me time, and I'd be actually surprised if anyone at your work can do even the cutouts, which is pretty easy, but it does take a little time. But you see these look like they have a white background. However, if I open them in Photoshop, as I did when I was on the phone with you the other day, you will see that indeed there is no white background. You see that black and white? That is a transparency. So let's just say I took an image, any image. I'm just going to grab something from downloads. I don't know what. Actually it's a huge image. So let me find something. Here, let me sort by size so I can get a big image. Okay. I don't know what this is. Okay, whatever this is, I'm grabbing it. Okay, so now I'm going to open that in Photoshop as well. Okay, now I'm going to grab that, and oh look, see how much they pay me to do these things? Now I'm going to add it, and now you see if I put this layer, that's the layer. We'll even rename the layer so you can see it. You learn Photoshop a little bit. Adam's paycheck. Okay, so you see it's in front of it, so you can't see that it's behind. But if I take this guy and put it there, now he's in front of it because there's a transparency. Now if I was to change the size of that, he's got a layer behind him, and there is a built-in transparency in the TIFF that you couldn't see. And you never needed to send it to me. All you needed to do was change the image size, which is huge. You see the size? The width is 8 inches approximately by 21 inches. Or in pixels, which is 2056, you can see it there. Now this resolution is a print resolution. You never need it at 300. So if it's going, which I don't know what it's going for, and that's what I was asking you, and you didn't have any answers for me, and I still don't know on the other one. So I'm going to leave it at 300, which is going to make it a large image. So I'm coming in the bedroom now to ask you, which you're probably going to yell at me, but I don't know if it's for print or not. If it's for print, you need it at 72. And you also need the resampling at CMYK. But I can't get this information from you. So if I made it 72, it makes everything smaller because the resolution for pixel, it's basically pixels per inch is 72 now instead of 3, and it will make it smaller. So it's still big, it looks like the same size to you, but it's not. So if I was to move this guy around now, you can see that he is indeed a transparent object. It's as simple as that. Now, if I got rid of these things, this is all your workers did, that you couldn't, your intern or whatever. If I was to change image size to, whoops, I've already changed it already by making it 72 if it's for, say, instead of print, if it's for whatever, oh God, what's wrong with me? If it's for, like you're going to be showing on a projector, you also don't need it at 300. 300 doesn't make any sense. This is, a normal size now. I don't need to do anything to it. I could just leave it here. I could have set, and that's all I had to do, and I could have saved it at this resolution, and you'd have been fine. But you weren't explaining yourself, and I didn't know what you wanted. I thought you wanted me to do the whole thing over again. But you already had the transparency. Again, this guy looks like, this girl looks like she has a white background, but she does not actually have a white background. Because here, we'll take her and we'll add her to our other image. which actually is now she's going to be huge in that image. So I won't. You see, look, because we didn't resize her. Actually, let's resize her in here. I can do that. So I'll resize her to 72 instead of 300. Right now she's huge. I'll make her 72. Now she's essentially the same size and scale. If you double click the hand, it will make it full size. I click Apple A to select everything, just like any other, program. And I can bring her in here. Now she will be to scale. Oh, whoops. Actually, I take that back. Apparently she's not. I don't know what I did wrong. But it doesn't matter. I could just scale her down. What I did was I hit Apple T. I could scale her down to whatever. And as you can see, she also has a transparency. It's as simple as that. Now, the images that you just sent me don't have that transparency. So that was easy, okay? So I'm going to end this video right now that you understand the difference. Now, by the way, if I save this as a JPEG, if I go save as, right now it wants to save it as a TIFF. I'm going to send it to documents so I can find it real easy. Test with background, okay? So I'm going to save, see down here it says save layers, and it says alpha channels. So, layers, embed US. Okay, so I hit save. And it says save transparency is an option, which is a TIFF option. It actually, so I'm going to hit that. It says many programs do not support transparency in TIFF. And the reason for that is because exactly, I don't know if, I'm assuming that your program does since they're sending me TIFFs. The program I'm talking about, of course, is PowerPoint. So I hit yes and save transparency, hit OK. And now if I would go to documents, first, I'm going to save another one. I'm going to save one as a JPEG. I'm going to save one as a JPEG in the same area. I'm going to call it test, and I'll just call it JPEG. Okay, now we're going to close both of these. We're going to close everything. Don't save. Don't save. Okay, so now we're going to, where did I put it? Documents. If I go to documents, this is the TIFF, which has the embedded alpha. If I open that, first of all, if I open it here, again, it will look like it has white behind it, but it does not. If I open it in Photoshop, there's the still have the transparency. Okay. Now, if I open the test JPEG, I won't even. Well, first you can see that it'll look the same as the other one in preview because preview can't look at a TIFF's transparency, but Photoshop can. And I'm again assuming that your software PowerPoint can. So I open this, and now the JPEG does not carry a transparency anywhere. There's no program that that will hold the transparency. You see, it's one image. There's no layers. JPEG is one layer, and that's it. So when you set a JPEG, it's what it's called rasterized. So now that you know what a TIFF and a JPEG is, I hope that gives you a little bit of a better understanding. And now I'm going to show you how the differences between the ones that you just sent me, which are JPEGs, which I then have to remove. Here, I'll show you how I do that. It's real simple if you have a white background. I can pick what's called the magic wand tool, and I can, well, gotta make an unlocked version of your, okay, so now I've got just white. So if I just have it on the tool, I can select that. Actually, I need to change the change this to contiguous. Why is this not on the magic wand tool? Magic wand tool. Select inverse and delete. Wrong way. Select inverse. See how I'm getting rid of it? Now I'm creating a transparency. So now this is no longer, I did it all at once. I should have separated it, but you can see I cut it off there. But you get the idea. Now I have a transparency. Now if I save this again as a JPEG, it's going to again have white because JPEGs don't carry transparencies. But I could save it as a PSD. I could save it as a JPEG. Excuse me, as a TIFF. I'm going to save yours as a TIFF because it is a smaller file, and that's what you gave me. Oh, there's still a little spot right there. But what I'm about to do is a lot more difficult because it's not as easy as just selecting that white and getting rid of it. If I open up the images that you sent me, I'll show you in a second why that's an issue as far as making it difficult. Okay, so that's all for that. Thank you very much. Have a good day.